Hello everyone and welcome back to Send Its Weather channel. Today we're doing a quite serious video regarding the prospects regarding Storm Éowyn, which is going to affect the UK tomorrow. Now this won't be the typical tone of my normal videos where they're all jolly and happy and excited because it is quite a serious storm. We have basically warnings across the whole swathe of the UK, and we have some brand new, which have just been issued at least like a couple of hours ago, red warnings covering southern Scotland and the whole of Northern Ireland, with red alerts in place across parts of Northern Ireland. Now make sure you spread the word of this video to get it out there and let people know about the severity of this storm. So we've got a widespread yellow warning for the entirety of the country for wind, covering the southeast mainly and parts of the Midland southwards, with bringing a spell of strong winds for a time on Friday, and it moves across. There could be gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour likely. Rain is also a possibility in the southwest as that low pressure from Storm Éowyn moves in and goes from the Atlantic to our northeast, and clears away up towards Scandinavia. There's a 15 to 25 millimeters expected fairly widely, with as much as 40 to 60 millimeters over higher ground. Now for Northern England, there's an amber warning for wind, which goes up to southern which goes up to past the red warning into northern Scotland, which moves across the northwest of the UK on Friday, clearing to the northeast. Will bring a spell of very strong west to southwesterly winds with peak gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour fairly widely, and 70 to 80 in some areas, and 80 to 90 along exposed coasts, so in the east and the west. And the potential is there for it to even be upgraded in these western areas, western England, to possibly even a red warning, but an amber warning is still very severe. You can see on the warning matrix there is room for it to be upgraded, but there isn't that much prospect at the moment of that happening. But it's something to be watched out for. And then we've got this red warning for Northern Ireland. Southwesterly and westerly winds will rapidly increase from west to east during the Friday morning rush hour, with peak gusts of 80 to 90 fairly widely, and perhaps up to 100 miles an hour along some exposed coasts. Risk of significant disruption to transport and power supplies, as well as dangerous conditions outdoors. Winds will gradually ease, and this is like a red warning, very likely, and a high impact storm. And it's basically encompassing the whole of Northern Ireland. Areas in the east could still see a little bit of wind as well, especially in the northern half, but even down to like the east coast, for example, could still see some, and in the southeast as well, as that low clears away. We'll take a look at some chart data then. So we've got the UKV. Now at the moment there is actually some strong winds affecting the southeast with this preceding weather front, bumping up these this stormy system, bringing some snow to the hills of northern Scotland, central England seeing a little bit of rain, and then southeast there's even the potential for some thunderstorms. I think there has been a few thunderstorms in parts of Wales, but as it clears away, could be some heavy rain, possibly even some hail mixed in for the southeastern areas, mixed into the showers. This is for Thursday at 1 p.m, which is when I'm probably releasing it. Now, as that clears away, here comes Storm Éowyn. The rain, heavy rain for many, and then you can see the eye of the storm there, which is covering Northern Ireland there, where we've got the strong winds. You can just see the centre of the storm, producing some heavy snow on its leading edge for the north, and a rain front, a heavy rain front as it approaches from the Atlantic. Heavy rain on its leading edge through Friday, early hours of Friday morning, and then more rain, and then it clears away, and it goes a lot drier besides in northern Scotland. Now the winds are the main risk with this storm at the moment. There's still going to be a lot of rain around, so there could be flooding in places. But look at these wind gusts just to the south, west of the Republic of Ireland, up to 120 miles an hour, just out in the sea. Which is very severe, in the Atlantic, which is very severe, and some of these gusts even move inland into Republic of Ireland, 110 miles an hour being seen there. Very serious winds, and much of between the Irish Sea, Western England, northwestern Scotland, and Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, are all seeing very strong gusts of 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, and then in this belt here of up to 100 miles an hour. Now, as the day goes on, this storm's going to continue to move northeastwards, carrying the winds with it. So, in the Irish Sea and the Isle of Man, for example, winds of up to 80 miles an hour are possible. possibly even higher in exposed locations, and locally could be higher. But this western area, this western England, they've got the amber warning down to about Liverpool. Probably could even see the potential for a red warning, but things are still a little bit uncertain. This is the UKV, this is the UK Met Office run for 8 a.m. on Friday. So then the risk of these strong winds moves further northwards as the lows move in, carrying these 100-mile-an-hour gusts to northern parts of Ireland, and especially along coasts, but could be very windy inland still, of up to 80 to 90 miles an hour even inland. That storm's going to clear to our northeast, and then it's going to bring its strong winds to southwestern Scotland along like the central belt of Scotland, which is why there's a red warning being issued there. A little bit further northwards with these strong winds compared to the warning area. I'd say the warning's down to about here. And I think that warning needs to be extended slightly northwards, if anything, because it's showing 110 miles an hour on the western side of these strong winds. And then the risk transfers further northwest as the low clears into the out to our northeast, carrying strong winds away, but there could still be 60 to 70 miles an hour in the north. Now, if we have a look at the icon next, this is just updated with the wind gusts. Then you can see that the icon is showing some very strong winds still, and that kind of indicates why the warning's there for that central southern Scotland belt with winds up to 90 miles an hour through this part, even further inland. Remember, in the central and southern Britain, winds could still get up to 40 to 50 miles an hour, and 60 to 70 possibly in exposed locations, especially as you go further north. And in the southeast, there is the risk of some stronger winds as well. Like, they have got some strong winds today, but there is the risk in the southeast of some stronger winds occurring. As you can see, 9 a.m. on Friday with the icon, 100 miles an hour affecting the Isle of Man, and then also in Western Ireland of the Republic of Ireland, and northwestern Ireland there, seeing winds of up to 110 miles an hour just off the Atlantic there, just out in the Atlantic. But some of these winds could move inland, so there's a serious risk in this western coastal parts of Republic of Ireland to see some very strong winds. Now, the risk is obviously to transfer further northwards, but the winds are still very strong. 3 p.m. on Friday, 100 miles an hour in this western flank here, extending eastwards as it clears away to the east. So a very severe storm. Its winds aren't really going to decrease too much, but hopefully they are overdoing it slightly, these runs. The Arpege next, this one has been going for it a lot. But today is a little bit less severe, but still very severe for Western Ireland there. 100 miles an hour gusts even inland, and then 70 to 80 miles an hour along this southwestern portion of the UK, this southwestern part, before the winds transfer further northwards. Another 70 to 80 miles an hour possible in this central southern belt of Scotland, and northern England seeing 60 to 70, especially along this coast as it clears away to the east. The east coast could see some strong winds as well in the north, especially before that clears away, and then goes a bit calmer again before another storm might arrive later on over the weekend. The GFS then is going to be, it usually underdoes the potential with these storms. We'll take a quick look. The GFS is showing 70 to 80 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour for the eastern side of Northern Ireland, extending westwards to the Republic of Ireland, through the Republic of Ireland. I'd say that this is undoing it, and we definitely will see 100 miles an hour. There you go, 100 miles an hour in that western part. This has definitely increased, but I reckon there's still scope for a warning in the southwest of an amber warning, because these winds are still quite strong, 70 to 80 miles an hour for southwestern Wales and southwest England before they clear away. Now further northwards again, 70 to 80 miles an hour, and then they clear to our northeast again. So, and then there's more storms on the way. Southeast, there's a bit of scope for another storm on Monday, but that's something to be watched out for, and I'll keep everyone updated on it. So, what's my general thought then? Because we've looked at the main models, besides the ECM, but that doesn't update for a while. So, the risk of the most dangerous winds, damaging winds, are for obviously much of the Republic of Ireland. Northern Ireland could see 100 miles an hour, especially in exposed locations, possibly even higher, but it's a little bit uncertain. Northern England, up to southern Scotland is in that amber warning, so there's definitely the scope there for some strong winds. And then the central southern belt of Scotland is in the red warning, which is slightly further southwards than that, extends southwards than that. But there is definitely the risk of some longer spells of gusts, and especially rain and snow as well. There is a risk of that as well. There's a yellow warning of snow for the north. It's going to be transitional before it moves away to the northeast. The Storm Éowyn moves to our northeast. So if you did enjoy this video and you found it informative, then please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate it. But if you are in these areas such as Western Ireland, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Northern England, and the south and the central belt of Scotland, then proceed with caution. Don't travel unless you have to, because it is going to be a big storm. There's literally people travelling from America to the UK to come and see this storm, so it's going to be a big one. Might go in the history books with some of these gusts. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.